Wednesday, April 6th in the Winston Room, Thelmo's Community Outreach Committee held a forum for students to speak to the village mayor, Charlotte Ramsey, and town supervisor, David Button. Brought to you by the St. Lawrence Student Government, Thelmo.
So I think that a very critical thing that we need to start off by thinking about is what are the divisions between St. Lawrence and the town, and why are they there? And some of the things that I have seen in my experience is that students don't necessarily take the time and opportunities that are presented here. In my experience, I took an initiative to really become a part of the town. I'm from a geographic area that is much unlike Canton, New York, and it was certainly an adjustment for me. But rather than sort of hold my bias to myself and go on with my life like that, I really took an active initiative to get involved and to see why Canton is Canton. And I think that a big push that St. Lawrence University needs to take on, and something that the student delegates all spoke about, is the idea of getting better jobs from St. Lawrence University. And a critical component that I feel is not being taken advantage of by St. Lawrence students is the town. We have so many opportunities at our fingertips, and people are fretting right now about their internships over the summer or their jobs after the summer. And I think that people really have to realize that while you're at St. Lawrence doesn't mean that there aren't internships. In fact, I would argue that there are even better internships. I can honestly tell you, I've worked with the mayor for quite some time. In a lot of other towns in the United States, that would never be a possibility. And that's something that I'm internally thankful to being in Canton for, and to being really engaged in Canton. And we have previous Thelmo officer, Bridget Lennon, working for the county attorney in one of the biggest counties in New York State. And then we also have Ryan Horn, who's currently working side by side with the CEO of the Canton Potsdam Hospital, and is learning from every single board member to then go to Kenya to implement some of what he's learned in the administration of medicine in Kenya. We have such critical things that I'd like to urge students to realize that you just have to ask and take the initiative. Canton, I have come to find, is a very open door, and that's something that I'd like to highlight before we move into some of our questions. Now, you've heard me go on and on about Restaurant Week over this semester, and that's something that I hold near and dear to my heart. It has been there has been an executive decision made to postpone Restaurant Week to the beginning of next semester so that we can better target freshmen and a time when students have more money. So we're trying to go forward with that, and we'll be structuring it to be prior to Restaurant Week so that there's a very nice knowledge prior to the disposable income of parents and everything else. Also, it gives us further time to gain more funds, to go forward with more advertising, and to make it as successful an event as it ever possibly can be. So, as you all have received a survey, I wish for you to fill that out. And if you have any questions, we will certainly answer them. And this is something that can gauge where the interested students are. And write it down, and later you can drop it off and try one of our Cindy's Cake Shop cupcakes that we've supplied tonight. And you can realize when you go up there, one component that we're trying to push is for the technological rise of Canton and its restaurants. And you'll notice there's a QR code, which I don't know if many people are very familiar, but it's very great technology, I think, with smartphones. And being able to use that with restaurants and to push for advertising and to have this be not only a great new technology, but also something that everyone would appreciate as being something that makes us more free. So I would like to now go to a brief introduction from both the mayor and town supervisor and open up to some questions. I really would love to see this as a back and forth forum for which we can discuss the relationships between St. Lawrence University and the town.
I'd like to thank Robbie Glass and Andrew and all of you for inviting us tonight. And I did learn a lot listening to the 4 candidates for student representative to the Board of Trustees. I'm going to be very brief because I think it is important to have a dialogue. I've been mayor, this is into my 4th year. I'll be up for re-election this November. Before that, I was on the Board of Trustees for 6 years. The village is governed by a board of 5 people, 4 trustees and a mayor. And we do see ourselves, both the town supervisor, myself, as we see Canton as a college town. And we want to amplify the good aspects of that as much as possible. And we are very interested in building stronger connections between the college students and the community, whether it's through having you come downtown and spend your disposable income and help the economic development and hopefully bring more retail and more restaurants to Canton. But we're also very interested in having you do internships, and because we really see that as a win-win. It can help you on your resume and in getting jobs. It can enrich your experience at St. Lawrence, but it also enriches us. It gives us new perspectives and new ideas and helps us get things done that we couldn't get done otherwise. We also encourage you to volunteer. There's all sorts of volunteer opportunities, and there again, it's a win-win. Helps you with your resume, helps you with your enriching your experiences, and it certainly helps us. So I'll stop there and turn it over to David Button.
Some background information on David Button. He was a town supervisor for 9 years and a mayor for 2 terms. Listen to what he has to say about the St. Lawrence and Canton relationship.
I too, like Charlotte, want to thank Andrew and Robbie for their leadership and their desire to bring the campuses, both of the campuses, and our community closer together. I want to commend the 4 candidates for their mature, reasoned responses to all of the questions. I don't think that you could go wrong with choosing any one of the 4 people who spoke this evening. And we would love, I know I speak for Charlotte in saying that we would love that caliber of student involved and engaged in our community. The one disappointment that I had was that in defining the St. Lawrence experience, there was no sense that being a part of a larger community was a part of the St. Lawrence experience. And I think I have a rather unique perspective because for the past 25 years I have lived in your front yard. In fact, we are the only home along Park Street that is lived in by real people. I probably live closer. My walk home tonight will probably be shorter than some of you who are here this evening. So I have seen and watched this campus. This campus, my 4 children grew up on. And so I have watched for the past 25 years the interaction between the school and the community. And I think there is so much more potential benefit for both of us in that interaction than we've taken advantage of to this point. I think St. Lawrence University is a great institution. I think that when I first came here, Lori Gulick was the president of this school, and we have had a succession of great presidents, and I think that those of you who referenced Bill Fox are absolutely correct that Bill Fox faces probably more challenges, more unique challenges than any of the presidents of this institution that I have known personally. And I'm happy that he is the person that's been chosen by the trustees to lead out at this particular time, because I think we have some tremendous challenges. But I think that by developing the syncretism between the community and the university, we can achieve more than we have ever achieved before. So, like Charlotte, my challenge to you is to get engaged in the community that you have chosen to go to school in. We have places for you to serve. We have learning experiences that might broaden your educational experience. And if you'd like to know how to do that, I encourage you to stop by the municipal building or talk with Andrew and Robbie. Either of those guys or Charlotte or I can help you. We both are in the same building.